Any so when you think of like witchcrafty things, I don't know very much about it, but I'm really interested. But is there a lot of young people, like like this new generation that are coming up, that have come to you for advice or guidance as to what they might feel they might have that kind of I don't know.
Yes.
They might be going through that as well, like you did.
Yes.
With your, so you come
It's
across
not
like
age specific at all.
No, I was just wondering, because I've never come across anyone my age or in my whole life that who's been quite a young person going through this kind of thing. So I was just wondering, what's the youngest that you've ever spoken to who feel like
to date, and quite literally, the youngest person that has spoken to me who's interested in gaining more knowledge and specifically following that path is 14.
Wow. Yeah.
And I actually spoke to him the other night, but he's been interested since he was 6, and I just went, no, you're too young.
Yeah, because I work with very young children, and
Yeah.
I do believe that young children are more susceptible to kind of a more spiritual kind of world than an adult would be, because I believe that adults are very closed off and don't want to believe anything because they're scared or whatever. But you get a lot of young children that say about their imaginary friend, and they really believe that that imaginary friend is real. So I was wondering if anybody has ever come to you about their child, or that's really kind of on this path to.
Absolutely, yes. To all that, children are absolutely brilliant at magic. They just naturally understand it. Of course, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they have no sort of parameters on their minds about what one should or shouldn't.
Yeah, the world hasn't shaped them yet, has it?
No, so they're completely. I would change the word susceptible myself to open to it, and they are willing to believe magic. It's as they get older and they have input from peer groups and parental controls where this comes in about, well, actually that's not real. But I always query that. Who says what is real?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Because how do we know this world is the only world? How do we know that? It's because of what we've been told or what we've learned, and we shut our minds down too much sometimes, and sometimes we need to just be a little bit more flexible about, well, as far as I know, this is to keep an open mind rather than a shut mind. A child is more open to that sort of thing. But you have to bear in mind, because they are open, they are also very vulnerable and susceptible to narrow-minded concepts, shall we say. I've been with people who have been indoctrinated from birth, and it does leave them kind of disabled in a way, because they only have this one road to go down, and they've been taught that way, and they have no other way of thinking, because that's been their world up to that point. They've been born and raised in basically cults. So it's just very difficult for them to understand what it's like in the big world, especially if they've been told that out there is hostile. It's them and us, sort of thing. So they're very susceptible, as you quite rightly said in the beginning, but they're also very open. So we have a responsibility of what we teach. And to me, true education is about saying, yes, this is out there, but so is that, and this, and this, and this, and this. And you have this wonderful choice, because I really so believe in celebrating diversities. Yeah, that's one way of going. And you will find out, if you just choose that way, that you're missing out on that.
Can I just raise
Sure.